Going live a bit early to test out any kinks. See if anyone's watching. That's not what I wanted. Hey, I have 3 viewers. Let's make me number 4. That's not what I wanted. There we are. Mute myself. Welcome, everybody. We'll be getting started in about a minute. If you're here, feel free to say anything in the chat. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Herpeter. Haha. Anything. Thank you. I'll turn things up. Turn it up. Bring the noise. That's why I started a bit early, so I can get things all situated. Oh, chat's there. Control room. Because I am very low. There we go. That should be better. Is that better? Let's check. I upped it about 10 times. Perfect. Is there a way for me to... So would you rather have the EFL logo or the chat going? Probably the chat, because that's more interesting. Let's get the chat. But welcome, everybody. There we go. Oh. Who's all ready and hyped for the Season 5 draft, our first one, our biggest one since probably the inaugural draft. Probably the most exciting, though, with all the big draftees coming in. Season 6? Well, that'll be the one with Eddie George Jr., which will be the best one, obviously. It looks like we may have Tugboat and Big Huge McLarge available for interview in a moment. So we'll bring them on, see what they think will be going on with their drafting, where they hope to go, where they think they'll go, see who's said anything to them, things like that. Keep in mind, anybody who's around, that there is athletic director jobs available. for Ohio State and Miami. It's a great, fun way to get 3 TPE per week. You do get paid for it. You get to help a lot of the new guys coming in, get to know them, make them to be the stars that everybody is now, because everybody started from the beginning at some point. And usually, when we're looking for an EFL GM, if you're interested in that, we usually start with the ADs. You can see from Beer Fridge, who was the Notre Dame AD for a few seasons. He recently got moved to the LA Reign. And Turner was a AD for a season as well. So everybody definitely keep in mind that that is available. So let's go over a few things while we're waiting to see if we can get our guest on the line. About who we think will be going first, who the first pick seems to be leaning towards, and things like that. EFL. It seems like a lot of people are believing it's going to go defense early, and it's one because of how strong the defense is coming out of college, but it's also about how weak defense is right now in the EFL, especially with a lot of guys retiring this season. It seems to be a very important spot for a lot of GMs. I've been playing too much Dungeons and Dragons. So we should be going pretty heavily on the defense. It looks like there's just a lot more players there in general. I know a lot of people are looking for Matt Hunter out of Notre Dame for Captain Matt to be going number 1. And that's from Miami. I don't know about, I believe Wheaties and Captain Matt are on pretty good terms, so that would be a really good pick for him, especially with the safety help that Miami needs. They did recently pick up a quarterback, but I don't know how happy they are with that situation. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to grab it in the second round, though they are a bit late. Did we? I believe New York also needs a quarterback. Yes, because New York still has not signed Evander Wayne Jr. yet. They may be waiting till after the draft and could possibly pick up Evander Wayne, or he's Evander Wayne. Our Okaloka, the pick master, or possibly Kai Wang out of Notre Dame as well. I don't think that would be a first round pick, though. Well, they don't even have a first round pick. Oh, yes, they do. It was just slashed off. So, with the last pick in the first round, probably go defense, especially with Scotty Flamingo Jr. retiring. They definitely need some secondary help because I also believe LeCarpetron has gone inactive. So, they definitely want to pick up a cornerback. Possibly Sherman Richard, but I doubt he'll be there. Still, maybe Nick Holmes. You could see Bengals moving into the corner spot with his safety and picking up somebody if Nick Holmes isn't available, like Alexei Volkov, or maybe a linebacker and move them back. Maybe something like Big Huge McLarge or Rambo Jackson. Who do you guys think will be going first? Let's see. King Death first round pick. Honestly, and not, I know you guys like to trash talk each other. I looked, and King Death doesn't have that many TPE. Like, he's only at 260, and that surprised me with how active you are, Death. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I mean, you are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're the 6th highest linebacker, TPE wise. So I don't know. Siphon Gaiman is definitely somebody from Notre Dame because I was just trash talking about the Eddie George Jr. part. Um, the part about Eddie George Jr. being created before Eddie George Jr. sat at 199 TPE for a full season. So I don't know. I do know we at least know the number 4 pick will be Lamar Williams with Beer Fridge taking over at Los Angeles. So that one is in the bag, though think I know I at least had him going there anyway. So I think it kind of worked out. Yeah. Well, apparently I helped Tactical Hammer realize he lost his phone. So that's fun. We will not be having Big Huge, Big Large, or Tugboat available to speak with, but um, hmm. I do like seeing all the new members coming in. I don't even think we did an actual Reddit recruitment drive this season, and I'm still seeing a whole bunch of people, which makes me very happy to see you guys actually going the extra push. I also think the VHL affiliation helped there. But I'm glad to see new guys coming in even out without the Reddit push because I know Reddit gets annoyed with us sometimes. And it means we can still do another Reddit push later and get even more people. Um, the NCAA award and All American announcements, they have been officially been put to be announced on Saturday, tentatively about 5 p.m. Central, which will be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is what most normal people use. Let's see. Let's go over who we think might be the best. Who's in the best spot to better themselves this draft? I believe that was one of the questions that we got for the pregame show. Which team is best set up prior to the draft to compete for the championship? Honestly, right now I think it's Seattle. Seattle had a really good showing this year, and I don't think they had too many people retire. So I think they have the best chance at setting up for a championship before the draft even happens. And I honestly think New York got hurt the most this season. I know none of their big playmakers got picked, but a few key members retired with Will Turner the fourth, Scotty Flamingo Jr., and Chance Tubbs. So that was Bengals one fan was asking that. So I think Seattle's the best setup before the championship, which is makes sense with them not having a lot of losses and making it to the championships. And he says, which team has the best opportunity to improve through the draft? And I definitely have to say it's Memphis. They have one, two, three. They have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, and that's the number 3 pick, 7 pick, 8 pick, and 9 pick. So that's going to help them out. And especially in a draft as deep as this, Symmetric really set himself up nicely. I don't know if Kendrick made those moves or if Symmetric made them, but whoever it was, they got set up very nicely. Made a very nice choice to set themselves up in season 5. They're going to get 2 or 3 good years out of these rookies coming in before they're going to have to get paid. I think Miami has to make a few good calls this season. They did end up moving down in both the first and second rounds. Um, I'm sorry, they have 2 picks in the first round, so they actually have a good shot here too. They have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, 2 of them being in the first round. So I can see. So if Miami picks up Matt Hunter, and possibly Sherman Richard and just pick up that secondary to shut down the passing game. It might not be this year, but in a couple years, they could have a scary secondary when some of these running backs start getting hurt. Kendrick made the trades for Memphis. Thank you very much. I don't know who Safe in Gaming is. Oh, Safe in Gaming is KGR. I don't know where Safe in Gaming comes from. Let's see who else is coming in. People who we think might be a steal. Who will be the biggest surprise pick? Who will fall the furthest? And just how upset will Wang be when it's him? I think one of the quarterbacks is going to drop. All right, and looking at the TP, it's probably going to be Wang. The thing is, as similar as they are, I mean, they're not that far off. They're only 24 TPE off each other, and I'm pretty sure Okaloka, because of his original setup being a wide receiver, does not have the best stats going on. Looking up his player thread right now. Bear with me a moment. How can I not look up Okaloka? Let's look up every day. Every day. This wasn't nearly as easy as I was expecting it. Because they moved the players, I just don't know where they moved them to. EFL draftees. I didn't know they made a thing for that. This is the epitome of being prepared. Okay, Okaloka. Not on the first page. Why would he be? Oka. Okaban. I can't find Okaloka's page. Oh, he's the first person. I'm a scrub. Okay. His arm strength. He's got 78 speed and 45 hands. So, I mean, he's not the best pure quarterback, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it's not that speed is bad on a running quarterback, because from what I know in this sim, running quarterbacks aren't bad, and we've seen Okaloka run for a couple touchdowns in college. We'll see if it transitions to the EFL, where a bunch of the players are better, and there's not a lot of not as many inactives with like 50 PPE. So we'll see. It kind of works the same way as in real life, where the option works a lot better in college, where there's not as good players, and then in the EFL, in the NFL, it doesn't work because there's smarter linebackers who can read it. So in the EFL, there's not as many 50 TPE guys, 100 TPE guys on the field. Running quarterback may not cut it. You also got to wonder if, and just bet based possibly off of bad AI, like Madden used to do, all those picks Okaloka threw, could it because he's a running quarterback? Could they take into account throwing on the run could be affecting his accuracy? Meanwhile, Kai Wang, while he has less TPE by a little bit, has the better pure passer ratings. Let's look at them side by side. It's all Kai Wang. Here he is. So while Okaloka does have serviceable stats, 74 in arm intelligence and accuracy, Kai Wang's sitting at 59, 86, and 82. So his arm's weaker, which I never realized that. He's got Alex Smith arm, but he's smarter, more accurate by a bit. And while the numbers are only that 12 higher on intelligence and 8 higher in accuracy, those TPE totals make those points a lot harder to make up with. So I would not be surprised if a team took a flyer out on Kai Wang just because of his build before Okaloka. And Wang's had the better college career. We don't know what the sim has done with the build that he chose. CP, I really don't see you going before 10th, unfortunately. There's just a lot of guys with just pure numbers higher than you. Let's see, you're at 260, right? Middle linebacker, inside linebacker is 260. So let's go down. Higher than 260. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 players with more TPE than you. And when you get to that point, I mean, there's a lot of defensive guys ahead of you. There could be somebody who might just get picked ahead of you because of their numbers. I don't know about a 5th rounder, but maybe 3rd or 4th round. What did I say? 10th highest. There's 6 picks. That's 6 around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're the 12th best. So if you go pure on numbers, you're going to be the end of the 2nd round. And that's LA, who's picking up Lamar Williams already. So I don't know if they would go back to back linebackers, especially with them having 2 picks before that. So you'd be their 3rd pick. They could have grabbed somebody, possibly like Benjamin Hands, who is a little bit less TPE than you, only by 2, but is at wide receiver, and that could be something that they need more. Why does Tommy Oliver have a star? I love when people put stars on things and don't explain what the asterisk is for. That's always fun. Let's take a look. Okay. We left it at work. So Tugboat and Big Huge McLarge were not able to catch their limo. So they're going to not be able to make it until draft time. Unfortunately, we have about 9 minutes until the draft starts. Let's get some discussion going, boys. Throw some hashtag season 5 hype in the draft chat thread. Let's put a hashtag King Death 5th round in the draft chat thread. You can't put, but if King Death, if you do a hashtag King Death, hashtag 1, that doesn't work. You can't see. It's gotta be, because if you hashtag, I'm using my hands like I'm on a webcam. Professional. I would have done webcam, by the way, tonight, guys, but I'm dying. Give me 1 second. I would have webcammed, but I'm currently dying. If you can hear it in my voice, of, I don't know, sinus infection, flu, plague, herpes. One of them. You guys coming out of the draft tour here. Who do you hope to get drafted by? I know CP, you were saying you want to go first overall, but what team would you be most excited to play for? I didn't say Big Huge. I said Big Huge could move back to safety. I know he's a linebacker. I was saying he could move back to safety if needed, if he has the size. Um, but King Death, who would you be most excited to play for? I know there's a bit of a delay, so give him a second. If he's still here, he's too large to play safety. Wang and Richard both want to go to Memphis. He who shall not be named. I am LA, Memphis, we just named them all. That's cute. So he's just happy to play in the EFL, like a fifth rounder would say. Um, with that whole situation of he who shall not be named, I am upset. I feel bad that it happened, but I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Moving on. Again, a reminder: there are AD jobs available, so feel free to apply for the U for the Miami Hurricanes or the Ohio State Buckeyes. The O, where you make the O. So we got the U and we got the O. Take your vow, buy your vows. Both very prestigious schools. And honestly, if you don't like those schools, like tell us and we'd be happy to change the team name as long as there aren't major, like we're not going to change the Hurricanes for Boston College. I would be okay with changing the USC Trojans for the USC Gamecocks. But I know Death is already the AD there. But just saying, Gamecocks are better than the Trojans. I would AD, but I'm not trying to screw over my current AD. UConn Huskies, you suck. KGR would AD, but you're not trying to screw over my current AD. That's interesting. University of Phoenix. Harvard University. DeVry University. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got 4 minutes until the draft begins. So I'm gonna, in these 4 minutes, I'm gonna do a quick mock draft of the first 2 rounds of what I think it'll go down, and kind of give a little bit of insight on what I think and why I think it'll go that way. So first pick in draft, I think Sherman Richards gonna. I think Matt Hunter's actually gonna go first. I know Miami's gonna really want to bump up that secondary. Despite Marcus Johnson being in their conference, I think with the big weapons coming out of college right now, that the passing game's really going to take a big stride going forward. And I think they might see that coming and be trying to get ahead of it, especially with like Memphis having a big draft coming in. I think Sherman Richard is actually going to go second. Probably one of the best pure cover guys coming out of college right now. And I believe that would be 2 Notre Dame guys going back to back, which is impressive for Notre Dame, but really tells you, yeah, it's 2 Notre Dame guys going back, really lets you know like how bad that defense is taking a step back this season going forward. Let's see who's next. Memphis has the 3rd pick. It'll probably be our first linebacker off the board with Boris Bonecrusher. You can't let a guy with 300 and almost 360 TPE sit there much longer than he would be, especially with the way Memphis wants to build up a defense and try to finally step over New York for the first time in a couple years. Um, Fourth pick for Los Angeles will obviously be Lamar Williams. His rights have already been taken because he is now the GM. Miami has their second pick at number 5. Um, I think they're going to try to get that passing game that I was saying that they're worried about, get that going on their own, get Wheaties a target, and they're probably going to take Marshall Woodhouse. Yeah, 315 TPE. It's coming out of USC. I was just checking on the teammates. I didn't want to be wrong and have a name messed up. My bad. Um, New York's got the next pick. And they just lost their cornerback. But the next highest isn't for 250. I see them taking a surprise pick here and going tugboat. Move him over to wide receiver until Marcus Johnson's done and be that team that never doesn't have a running back. So I can see tugboat going up to New York, my old stomping grounds. Memphis would be up again. They have 3 picks back to back. And I think Tactical Hammer gets 2 guys going back to back. And Big Huge McLarge goes right after Tugboat. Or somewhere in these 3. They might grab that cornerback, Nick Holmes. And maybe this might be where Benjen Hands gets picked before King Death. Honestly, I don't. Yeah. So it's LA up next. Just had a run. They have their quarterback. No good tight ends. They might grab Alexei Volkov just out of need because they don't need another linebacker. They have their quarterback, and there's a big drop off everywhere else. Los Angeles is actually in a tough spot in the second round, so they might take Green's player with Alexei Volkov here. I could see them maybe taking King Death, but I think Alexei Volkov's where they go. And then I think Miami takes King Death with the 11th pick. And LA's in a tough spot again. Huh. You know what's going to happen? I forgot New York doesn't have a quarterback. Tugboat will not be going number 6 because New York will be taking Kai Wang at number 6. Memphis takes the same people as before. Los Angeles takes Tugboat. Miami takes King Death. Los Angeles takes Tugboat. Miami takes King Death. And then again, Los Angeles is in a tough spot at number 12. They have some important calls to make in these first 2 rounds. But with that, I do believe we are starting up. I went a little bit over. Oh, no. And I did not get the notification yet that it is ready, and I do not see Bengals available yet. Let's see if the EFL draft started. It has started. So everybody, please go into the draft board as it is getting started. And have fun, everybody. Good luck to all the rookies going in. This is Duckburg over and out. I'm making hand signals. Boom.